Hello. Happy witching hour. This is actually the first time that I have been able to sit down and talk. And I wanted to come and follow up a little bit about the conversation that we were having yesterday. Um, and so, uh, you know, in my spare time, I look at a lot of news. I'll tell you guys that, okay, blessed be. I listen to a lot of news and or I look at a lot of news and um one of the things that we're being heavily distracted from right now is kind of on the subject of what we talked about earlier, but or yesterday, but this is going to be a little bit more serious what I'm talking about in this discussion. So if you're easily triggered, or you may want to try to listen to this when you are probably in a better mood, or in a place where you have strength. So the witch hunt is on. Okay. And it's not just on the witches, but it is a lot of murders of women happening right now, like a lot. Like I can't be distracted from it. I can't I can't be distracted, honestly. It just have to go ahead and admit it. We do. We have to admit that something is going on. It's almost like a state of emergency. Um and I believe for the most part, you know, um it's kind of being, I don't want to say swept under the rug, but it's kind of like I think that people have been desensitized to it is what it is. But people are not realizing how often it is happening. Like a lot. I mean, there's so many cases of especially women being murdered at the hands of men, to where it almost took me into this place of, wow, are all of these people human? And who do we really have walking amongst us? Hello, happy witching hour, Jen. Hello, sweetie. Who walks amongst us? Like, who are these people? I just got done looking at a heartbreaking case in Ohio, I think it was Beechwood, Ohio, where this man, they actually let him out. He, the story was kind of weird. He turned himself in for murdering a 46-year-old. She's 46, gorgeous. Yes. Well, I'm happy to be here too. During this witch hunt that is going on. And again, very successful, but it doesn't matter. Like, but I think that it's happening more often. You know, women who are successful are being targeted more often. Okay. And She was a sorority member, and her fiance murdered her. And well, what I was gonna say before I started rambling, or uh, he turned himself in for the crime, but then the police let him go for insufficient evidence. How does that even make sense? Like, it's not making sense, and it almost makes you want to take your family and build an underground house and just go underground for a while. It is just, I mean, right now, and ah, goodness, I couldn't even imagine where we would be if it were not for my craft. Because right now, I am feeling like I don't even recognize this world right now. It is factually a witch hunt, and it is just like it was back during the Crusades. Because during the Crusades, when they were hunting witches, they also murdered a bunch of women that were not witches by giving them these ridiculous tests to prove if they were witches or not. So, yeah, you found out who was gay down low. Jen, who'd you found out was down low gay, sweetie? These ladies at work are crazy. They are passing their ex-husband around, but they are fighting amongst themselves. I was like, you guys are crazy to be about him, but doesn't everyone wants him? Wow. That sounds insane. Hey, one EQ, hey. Ashley, that sounds insane. Yeah, just like back during I mean, it's damn near matching what happened previously, because there were also women that, were kind of down to clown with these men and play their game. And maybe those women are smart for doing what they're doing. I believe in, if you stand for nothing, you don't stand for anything. Okay. So I'm not gonna sit up here and be quiet about what is happening, the discrimination, the misogyny, on both sides, from both men and women, the craziness, the goofiness, the out of the headness, the weirdness. So that right there, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm mad at anybody that messed up, like, then that includes everybody. And then also, just FYI, they're feeding too. It's a lot of vampirism that's going on, and you have to do what you got to do about that. Okay, I was telling one of my other sisters about that earlier, that you got to do what you got to do about that. Okay, hell, Lilith. But it's so sneaky, you know. It is. It's so sneaky, and it is a division. It's definitely a division. I know that, you know, I can tell y'all this, as far as when it comes to uh finances and money. A lot of people, it's like post pandemic, and a lot of people are trying to get all they can, but for what? They're almost like chipmunks gathering up nuts in their teeth. What is the urgency, emergency? Why are they gathering up these resources? It's almost inhuman. It doesn't go with the flow of what we're doing on the earth here. It really doesn't. And so if you don't know or are not aware of what's happening around you or to you, then it's pretty much swallowing people up, whatever it is that's going on out here, and so I do think that the gateway, I think that a big gateway for it is relationships and love, and because it's way too many men murdering their girlfriends, their fiancés, their exes. It's happening a lot. And then it's not just murders, but it's also discrimination, misogyny, people acting crazy. They are not abiding by the law. I have had to educate several court officials of the law. Like, I'm like, shouldn't you know the law? But even if they do know the law, they're not abiding by the law. Ah, and yeah, we know that there's a lot of black magic witchcraft floating around there, floating around. Um, and so you have to watch yourself. You really, really do. Um, I know I was working all day for the circle diligently on a lot of stuff for my Sam Hain circle, which is other stuff that I had to do. And I got to tell you, I had to go back. I literally had to go prehistoric. I mean, my goodness, on some shit. Like it's what is going on? People have lost their mind. People are insane in the men brain. And there are, so here's how the world is divided. There's the complete psychopaths who don't give a shit about anybody or how they affect anybody. And then there's those of you that are kind of like me. We're in the middle. And what we're doing is trying to bring balance to our lives and maybe even possibly other people's lives. And so we're trying to create that balance and make sense of it all. And we're just pretty much doing whatever we got to do to survive. We're not hurting people purposely at all, except for people that are trying to do harm to us, obvious harm. Um, but then you have the other person type that is just being taken for a ride, and it's just insane, totally unaware of the evil. you know I had to sit down and talk to my children uh today, and trying to force them to listen to me. I am desperately trying to get back to my children because I don't like what's happening. And it's just complete madness and mayhem. It is. I'm going to tell y'all straight up and down. It is. It's a lot of madness, a lot of mayhem. And it is mainly and primarily for some reason revolving around people's career. Okay. So I'm not shocked. It's like, Ashley, you came in here just at the right time. These women at work. Why is it surrounding career? Why are people going nuts? Why are people, um, jobs, employers, just everybody going nuts over money, right? It's crazy. And I can't talk about some of the workings that I did yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it, but I mean, it was literally like, are you kidding me? It was back to back to back spell work yesterday, back to back workings, and back to back just all day meditation, um, invocation, and so yesterday was actually the 23rd of 2023, which I've noticed people, it's almost like stuff is happening by numbers, because that, for some reason, they're doing something every 23rd of every month. And so you got to look at that every year. Every year, you have to look at the year. So in 2024, you have to be prepared for every 24th of the month because of those double numbers, which, yes, it's alchemy, it's numerology. Yes, it's very powerful. So, it's something that do they have to do it? Nope, they don't. They don't have to do it. But but people are still doing crazy stuff. So, so that's why I was so busy yesterday, and then especially it's a week before Old Hallows Eve officially, and the veil is very thin, which means what? It means spirits are close by listening and responding, and all of those spirits are not good spirits. Now, of course, for me as a witch, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, and as a medium, I feel like the veil is not there for me. I don't see a veil at all. There's no veil. It's just, of course, well, there is a veil, but y'all know what I mean. I mean, I feel that it's more intense right now. It's about the same for me, but I've noticed more ancestral contact, and I've noticed it's a big difference for some reason in the month of October and then close to Halloween. I will admit to that. But it's worse for everybody else in the world because people are so freaking unaware. That, my friend, is the main reason why I feel like religion is dangerous. Because if this entire world was aware of spirits and not a fairy tale or not some damn broken promise that has already been freaking broken a long time ago, if people knew that, this world would be much more peaceful and harmonious, because people, I'm sure that they would have been done created. Well, they have that they you can get it at the Botanica. There's this spray called clearance spray, and I want to get some of this stuff. Oh my God, it smells so good. But it's they would have been done made like a vaporize for spirits, like just spray it and the spirit is gone if it's a negative spirit. You know what I'm saying? Oh God, it's just a mess. Yeah. It's even my boss, she was like, what are you about being professional, doing my job, taking care of my kid, talking about you are going to break the fights up amongst the women who are fighting. Oh God. Hey, when people, hey, listen, those of you that have jobs, it's not my job to have a job. I have a business, but I'm gonna tell you something. Uh, Make sure that you have the proper spiritual support and protection when you're on these jobs. I even get nervous sometimes ordering food because you just never know who in the, oh my God. It just seem like people are just cray. It does. And, they're giving people the J, and it's just a God. Hey, Laverne, I'm not breaking up two women fighting over guy. Yeah. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. It sounds like your boss has kind of like a crazy spirit on her. That's for sure. Wow. That is insane. And do you know what happens sometimes when people break up fights? They get hurt in the crossfire. Goodness gracious. So, uh, yeah, but back to the witch hunt. It's on. It's on and popping. The witch hunt is on and popping. And see, I warned women about this. I did. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I just warned people about it because I bet you a lot of women felt safe, but it ain't safe. You know, it ain't. It's not about being a witch. It's about you being a woman. That's all it is to it. And so right now, I know that I am definitely on red alert. Don't have time for no damn foolishness. I don't. And it's because of who I am and what I do. Like real talk, I have client cases to where I don't have time to do nothing else except for do what I gotta do, and and take care of my children and spend time with my family. Otherwise I don't. Anything else, my job is way too important and I'm in way too goddamn deep. So I ain't even playing around with it. I had to take my own advice, quit playing around with it and get goddamn serious and go into meditation and say, hey, give it, hey, I need the wisdom right now. I need the wisdom. I need to know what to do. Yeah, because it's crazy out there. And you can't ignore it. Like you look crazy trying to ignore it. Like goodness gracious. Yeah, but karmic judgment is happening, but it's interesting that you would mention that, Miss Laverne Cheesecake, but um a lot of it, like it's almost like you have to well, you do have to fight for justice because the bad people, they are somehow, like, and I'm talking about the dirty people, the obvious, like, crappy people, and it's always some kind of error or mistake, right? So it's like first thing in the morning. In fact, I'm gonna get off here. I'm not gonna be here long. First thing in the freaking morning, I'm on the horn. First thing in the morning because it's all these mistakes being made, and it's just crazy. Except for because I'm dealing with a total of, y'all know, I'm dealing with a total of 3 legal cases right now, personal legal cases. On all 3 of those legal cases, I got some kind of news, some kind of correspondence about him. And two of the legal cases, I could kind of see what was going on because I don't know why in the hell I can't really talk about it right now because the case is still ongoing. But uh, this attorney had filed something, and it doesn't have anything to do with the landlord thing, but this attorney had filed something, and the motion had gotten denied. And from what I could see, it was a good thing that it had gotten denied because for some reason it seems like it's very bizarre. Like what are you doing? Like, are you kidding me? So it's like this dude all of a sudden was trying to block me. Like what? Like you don't even know me. What is wrong with you? My name is Jamila. If my name was John, if my name was John, yeah. And I know that that's why I don't care what nobody says. Like it's like, come on, what are the odds? And then I have an Arabic name, so it's like, oh, it's an Arab. It's like, oh, these people are Arabic, they're Arabs. Screw them. It's like, God. Oh my goodness. Sometimes I wish my mama would have named me Susan. you know? I was like, you gotta protect everything. You gotta protect your name, you gotta protect your energy. Oh my God. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you, Ashley. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, it just like really like when I got that notification, and I didn't even understand what dude was doing, and I had to look it up, and I was like, well, what the fuck? Why did he do that? I was like, why did he do that? And the judge denied the motion. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. But then, it was like some crazy shit happened on another case that I had. The other one is fine. The other one I got very good news on that. Well, just kind of like that sign of the times. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you gotta file more paperwork, and you gotta. Oh my God! It's just like, is the system supposed to be protecting the people, or what are you doing here? Crazy, absolutely crazy. Thank you, Miss Laverne. Thank you. I appreciate it. And so, why were we bringing this up? How did we get on the subject of that? Yeah, it's something very strange, something very it is. And so I'm just like, oh my God, this is insane. So y'all be careful out there, man, because I'm not gonna join them because I can beat them. That's how I feel about the shit. I'm not gonna join the bad guys. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna continue to stand up and fight for what is right. Period. I don't care what nobody says. I'm standing in my beliefs. I'm not going to allow anybody to fucking bully me and force me. Like, that's just crazy. Because I'm gonna tell y'all women something: witchcraft is the only protection that you are going to have. I've been going through the hell and the chaos of patriarchy, sexism, other stuff for the past 10 years. I would not still be here. I would have either gotten killed or died of a fucking heart attack if I were not practicing my craft. I can honestly say that. And they not gonna stop me from saying that either. Because and they are so hateful. They are so vindictive. It's almost like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, can you stop? They can't stop. It's almost like they need a fucking lobotomy or something, you know? All right, Miss Laverne. Have a good night. Blessings. Blessed be to you too. Yeah, so I'm telling y'all the truth. You know, they want to make it look like, oh, if you practice witchcraft, you're going to have all these issues and things are going to be happening. And trust me, it would be much worse. It would be much worse, you know. And so, yeah, just don't take no shit. Don't play around with people. No, I'm not playing with you. No, I'm not joking. No, I'm not. When it comes to business, that's serious. It's not a ha ha. I mean, we can have fun. We can relate, you know, okay? But when it comes to getting down to the business of the business, it's no joke, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, so, and it's crazy because, you know, I feel like the closer that we get to Old Hallows Eve, I feel like a lot of us are going to be able to relax a whole lot. You know what I mean? So it'll be okay. But I also think that for some reason this week has been more difficult because what I've been feeling is them trying to dominate you, tell you what to do, them wanting you to be in certain cycles for some reason. And it's specifically being pointed at women. And Ashley, I think that it's just so disrespectful. You know, when I'm at work, yeah, we can talk and relate and things of that nature, but I just, you know, I don't really like that. And so I was hearing about two planes that almost collided. I forget where I heard about that from, but I was talking to y'all a couple of months, it was about several months ago, about that case, the case of the two planes that collided, which is very rare for that to happen. And luckily, air traffic control was watching that because when that happens, it's devastating. Nobody usually survives if two planes collide. And it actually happened several years ago. It is a story about a guy, a Russian guy, I believe he's Russian, and he's a hero now. Somehow air traffic control, one of the employees either fell asleep or was slacking on the job or something, and his wife and his kids was like, he had he had basically, his wife and his kids had to wait back somewhere for him while he was doing some kind of real estate project for somebody. And when he was done and he had gotten his money and he sent for his family, finally, after like a year or so, like he lost his whole family in that plane crash that collided. uh and he went and murdered the guy that was responsible, and he is now dubbed a hero. Like, y'all should look that up. I can't think of his name right now. Y'all know I'm horrible with names. But yeah, like, what is going on? What is really good? Used to didn't be like this, you know, and they're not going to tell us that, oh, well, it wouldn't be this way. It's almost like this underline, and I can hear it, but they don't actually say it. They don't. They don't actually come out and say it, but they have the world and like this chaos, right? When they could bring proper order, but they won't. And it's almost like they want us to think that it's because, well, maybe you should just stay home, woman. Maybe you shouldn't work. Maybe you shouldn't practice the craft. Maybe you shouldn't exist at all. Yeah. Oh, I think these women, oh, they're doing too much. And it's just like sit down and pay attention. You know, I can imagine that like there's probably been so many mistakes that have been made from some dude being over compensatory or being overly dramatic when it comes to sex, probably whacking off somewhere in the bathroom and just causing delays and mischief and mishap. So that's another thing, and so that situation has to be checked. I think that for the most part, I do think that I think they need to put these people in check that are acting up, like seriously. Like what's really good? Like, are you okay? Because do you not see what these people are out here doing? Are you not understanding what's happening here? Or are you where are you? When you look at people, when you talk to people, and you have to almost jar them awake because they're just sleeping. And so, that's just like last night. Oh, my fangs came out last night because you know because y'all saw it. I'm not gonna go through the story. Y'all probably saw it on my other channel, and I'm trying to keep everything about business over here, but people acting stupid and crazy is just stupid and crazy. Oh my god. So so y'all be careful out here, man. It's a lot of crazy, crazy, crazy stuff going on. It really is. And keep your houses protected, keep your energy protected, keep your children protected. If your protection, if you feel like what is happening, like, because I feel like after what was going on last night, as well as some things that had happened that I'm not going to talk about, I feel like my protection is pretty good, but I had to beef it up. I had to beef the protection up. I did, and do other stuff and really focus on it because, you know, uh, these people are acting crazy and stupid. So, and I'm talking about just a lot. I'm talking about a lot. So y'all be careful out there. And just be alert, man. Just be alert. Like for me, I'm still social distancing. It- it's about that time to social distance. It is. I don't want to go out on no dates with no men right now, except for my sons. Of course, those are my children. You know, I'm not trusting no men, hardly. I'm not. I'm not trusting them. Just like because what's wrong with you and what's wrong with your man's over there? What's going on here? And I'm just absolutely disgusted by the lack of accountability and the lack of care. And I believe that women need to stand up and stand strong for themselves and their children. Seriously. I'm not standing with no silly Billy. I'm not standing with no silly Millie Mouth bobbleheads. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you know what? Last year, when the Woman King came out, I was dealing with somebody and he was just like firmly against it. I'm like, well, if you like, when but they want something different for their daughters. Okay, well, you're looking at the world, make it different then for your daughters, because when your daughters got to go out in this world, what do you think they're going to be dealing with? They're going to be dealing with men like you. And do you even care? So I'm just like, ilk. And they hiding in the bushes. They're listening to everything that I'm saying. They can definitely hear me and they are responding accordingly because they want to say to you, they want to send me the message of, yes, I am the man. And even though what I'm doing makes no damn sense, I'm still, I, I'm, I'm still going to not abide by the law. I'm still going to violate your civil and legal rights. And I'm just going to do it because you're a woman, and I'm going to see if I can get away with as much as possible. So I know they're watching and they're listening and they're collaborating and they're doing all this stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, all of these men are castrated as far as I'm concerned. Because especially with me being a witch, they already don't like women. Imagine what they think of a witch. And they're fulfilling a self-fulfilled prophecy right now is what they're doing by becoming lovers of themselves. I don't really think that Bible verse really was related to being gay. It's just that they have lost their minds, they're crazy, and they're trying to extinguish as many women as possible. And you got to understand the history of the world and these men and the way they think. You got to understand the history. There used to be a time, and it still happens in certain countries, where baby girls, when they are born, they are murdered, they are killed at birth. And it's just, I will let me tell you something. I got time to sit back and look and think and observe it. Observe it. I'm looking at it and I'm calling everybody and trust and believe that they have done rituals to try to cut me off from my gods, and my ancestors tried to make it so that they couldn't hear me because they don't like me. Because I stand for myself and I stand up for my children. You know what they're about? They're about weakening the woman as much as possible so that they can snatch your kids up, sell them on the black market, traffic them, and rape and kill and pillage as many people as possible. And this is what we're dealing with. And none of the men around us are saying shit. What are they saying? Nothing. So at the end of the day, as a woman, looking at the whole world, because I have to, right? Because I'm top flight security of the world, Craig. Okay, I had to throw that one in there. I'm joking, y'all. Listen, looking at the whole world, you can't help but notice it. What the fuck is going on? And how do they respond? They respond with more bullshit. And then they'll say, oh, well, if you don't like it, you don't got to be here. No, you ain't got to be here, do you? Do you have to be here? So I'm sick of it. I really am. All right, guys, I got to go. That's all I have time for. It's almost 4 a.m. So I'm going to try to get a few hours of shut eye because I got a full day ahead of me today. fighting the chaos, fighting the discrimination, fighting the freaking injustices that we are going through. And then not only that, dealing with the spiritual aspect of what is even leading us down these roads that we're going down. So they're not just killing witches, they're not just murdering and raping, they are also stealing. They're stealing from us a lot. So, God, get it together. That's why I've been sitting here all day. Isis, Astarte, Dana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Anana. I've been sitting here all day because what they do is when we invoke the goddess, they've been banishing the goddess. So it's almost like you gotta stay like I'm putting it on autopilot to constantly have the goddess invoked. Okay. A bowl of water, a big bowl of water right there. Like, let's make sure the goddess stays here. And then also the gods that care because these people are crazy. Yeah, I'll talk to y'all later on, okay? I'll see y'all later. I ain't going nowhere, okay? But trust and believe that they've they've been done they're they've been done threatened us. And giving them love and light ain't gonna help. Providing them with love and light ain't doing shit. It's not. And they need to be removed from their positions of power if they have any. All of their power needs to be removed. These corrupt people. It's too many corrupt people in power. So I spot a corrupt person. I'm sorry. Let me get that. Cause what are you doing? Ew. All right, y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay up. Okay. I'll see y'all later on. Bye.